here, you missing out. Cause this show.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy DeLorean Diggs here, and if I love wrestling, you love wrestling, we love wrestling.
But today, let me switch the background because we got somebody special in the house. We got a person who I've met a few times. Person who, if I was him, I'd be a little more angry out here than he is, but we'll talk about that later. You know what I'm saying? We have come across each other. Mr. Black Wrestlers Matters Rumble with her, not one time, but 2 times, 2 years in a row. We have Mr. DeLorean Diggs with us today. How you doing today, sir?
Pretty good, man. And, you know, back to back like on the cover of Lethal Weapon. Yeah, I like that.
There it is. So we go talk about that. But the first thing I always ask people is, why do you love wrestling, or what started your love for wrestling?
Man, so the short story of it is that my great auntie, Dina Beeman, she wrestled in the 50s and the 60s down the down south area. Oh, wow. And like throughout my mom's side of the family, everybody always talked about, like, you know, how she wrestled like Georgia Brown and all that, and just like toured throughout there. And like hearing her side of it made me like it, but I truly really liked it when basically it was one night at my grandparents' house, and we was watching AWA back in the day. And like, I don't know what it was about Kurt Hennig, but I really liked him a whole lot. So then I was just like, you know what? This is actually like a real cool thing. Like, I actually went up to the TV, told everybody that was there, I was like, can I do this when I get older? Because I want to do it. And then like my great auntie was like, yeah, you can do it if you want. Like, you just gotta want it. And I was like, well, I want it now. I do it now. Like me being young in a diaper and like full of pee and vinegar, you know, excuse my French. But just being like, you know, I kind of wanted to do it. And honestly, that feeling never stopped since I was a little kid, and growing up now, it's just like, man, like I love it even more now throughout some of the things, you know.
So you said Kurt Hennig.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't be talking about Kurt Hennig, aka Mr. Perfect Enough out here. What area did you grow up in? So
I was born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So familiar in the Midwest, so like AWA was AWA was a big thing back in the day. So, I mean, because the match I remember seeing, because Grandpa, God rest his soul, he always recorded like AWAs and NWA shows when he got on pay-per-view. And the match I saw when they was rewatching was Kurt Hennig and Nick Bockwinkel. So, and that match stuck to me like glue. So, I mean, like it was like, and maybe it was just the fact that as a kid, I kind of liked heels like a tiny bit. Unless you suffer Sting, then that's a different subject for another time. But like, I always loved Kurt Hennig. But I don't know, maybe it was just like his swag and just like how cocky he was and how good he really was. Because like Kurt Hennig, like I really like Rick Rude too. So, but I mean, those are just things that I like. I mean, especially in the Milwaukee area, you hear there wasn't a lot of Milwaukee wrestlers in particular back then. There was more of like, you got some people that's from Chicago, or you got a lot of people that's from like, you got some in Indiana, a lot of Minnesota, because Minnesota's right there. So those are like the surrounding areas. I mean, you get some Detroit people too, but I mean, that's where that came from. So, I mean, I always love Mr. Perfect. I still do to this day. He's on my Mount Rushmore, if that says anything of how much of a Mr. Perfect fan I am.
Well, you said it. Well, who's on your Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, I want to know now.
All right. So my Mount Rushmore is Kurt Hennig. This dude don't get no credit, but I loved him a lot. Bad News Brown. He was that dude. And then I got for my third slot, I got Sting, because I've always been a Sting guy. And my fourth slot, like I'm debating between the two now because I was the kind of person that as a kid, I was a Shawn Michaels dude. But then when I got to a teenager, I was a Rock fan. But then as I got to adult, I was like, you know what? Bret Hart's kind of hitting different now. So I'm stuck between those three, but if I had to pick one, I'm going to lean towards more Bret Hart.
I mean, that's a hell of a Mount Rushmore. Bad News Brown don't get enough love.
He don't.
True.
Kurt Hennig. You said Bret Hart. And who's
Bret Hart and Sting.
Sting. Surfer Sting, I mean, from like 91 to damn near 1990 to like 93, 94, he couldn't be touched though.
He couldn't be touched, like, man, like, and that's just the thing, because like everybody remembers, I mean, everybody knows Crow Sting, and like, you know, people joke about Joker Sting at time or two, but it's just like Surfer Sting, like he was like out there putting on like 40-50 minute bangers with Flair and Vader, and he had one match with Farouk that was actually pretty good too. And I was just like, man, like low-key Sting be putting on bangers, especially Surfer Sting.
Yeah, the face of a company, you know, people got to sleep on that. I saw I saw some blasphemy the other day. People were saying, who was it? Matt Hardy's put more impact on the industry than Sting, and I was like, bro,
no.
Sting is the face.
Was that on Twitter?
Yeah.
Man, dog,
you know how Twitter be.
Man, nah.
And it came from Black Wrestling Twitter too.
Oh no, man! Yeah. Oh man, we gotta, man. No, that black delegation gotta talk about that because that ain't right.
Matt Hardy of all people.
Man, like Jeff, I probably been like, but Matt, no, nowhere near close.
And the only one thing I said was he ever the face of a company? Then they was like, well, Christian got him. Then I was like, Christian, that TNA run wasn't bigger than that 94 Sting run.
It wasn't, and it was just like I hate to say it, like I remember when Matt Hardy was a face, but he was a face of a company for like no longer than a cup of coffee. So it's just like he didn't matter that much. Like if people just like, oh, like you know, the deletion Matt Hardy was like super over. I was like, yeah, like people try to throw that. I was like, I mean, Surfer Sting was super over too. I was like, Crow Sting was the man. Like nobody can touch Crow Sting. So it's just like that's already cancel that out.
Matt Hardy deletion was so over. I felt like it was more over as a gimmick than like the actual person itself.
Right.
So it was. So I kind of started, especially like as I got older, I was like, if you had someone else who could really act that well, you could interchange it.
Right.
Like, say Bray Wyatt did that shit first, like that gimmick would still be over just how that gimmick is itself. It wasn't necessarily like the person.
It didn't, and like nothing against TNA, but it didn't change the company.
No.
It was just like, I mean, TNA was still what TNA was, which is just at the time nothing. So it just like it didn't help people be like, oh, let's watch TNA this week. Like, what's Matt Hardy doing?
It got Dixie like, Carter up out of there though.
Yeah, I guess I could.
That was around the time she left and other people took over.
Dixie Carter.
My bad.
Oh man, she made some decisions. Ugh, I don't want to go into that.
Yeah. But you said you watched wrestling growing up, AWA, and you asked if you could do this. So how do you get involved and start training to be in wrestling?
So, like, I'll say probably a good demographic of people that started wrestling. I wrestled in the backyard. So at the time, one of my friends that I knew at this church I grew up in, he had a friend that was actually running like a backyard wrestling little fed. And he was just like, hey, so like, I know you like wrestling and all that. And I want to give you my guy's personal information that a friend that I know grew up in a little bit of high school. So I was like, okay, cool. So that was when like Facebook back then was really old to where like you legit have to message people before you have to accept requests and all that. So I ended So I ended up sliding to his DM, and I was like, "Hey, man, so my buddy Terrence said he knew you and all that, and like I heard that you're like running something." So he was like, "Oh yeah, man, yeah." So basically, the company was called LBOW, which is Little Bastards of Wrestling, and basically he's like,
what? I'm so sorry. What you say? OVOW.
LBOW, Little Bastards of Wrestling. That's what it stood for. I never to this day asked him what was the meaning of that. Or like if you could you like change the word for it? It was just something that was there, and I was just like, oh, okay. I'll just woke up, we'll just call it good. So I ended up going over, like chatting it up with him, and then that's how I like unofficially got trained a little bit. So like I knew some of the in and outs, but I wasn't properly trained. But that I started that. God, what was that? I was in I started around the time I was like 16, 17. So at the time, because the guy that was running it was working on basically revamping and getting a better ring. So believe it or not, there was like an 8x8 ring. It was so dang small, but bumped everything, did everything in there because you can only do it in literally one part of the ring is the bumping part. So then after that, things got going good. Things badly happened, so that declined. So I did my college thing because my mom got wrestler, so wanted me to get an education. So I did all that, did the college stuff. Fast forward about 6-7 years later, because I live now in South Dakota, and Nick Dinsmore, who's known as Eugene, he was running a school here, and I didn't realize there was a school down here, let alone that I didn't know Nick Dinsmore was living here. So when I went to a show that they had this little advertisement saying like, oh, we're gonna have like a wrestling training camp within like 2 months. If you want to details, talk to Dinsmore, email him at such and such. So my buddy was just like, so you're gonna do this, right? Like you're gonna get back into it again, right? And I was just like, well, I mean, I guess I am now. And I wouldn't be here if it wouldn't happen. So fast forward, I got trained by one of the best minds in the industry, and did a little thumping, and then I'm here right now. So I'm doing something right.
Okay.
So I just want to piggyback a little bit. Obviously, it seems like a chain of events that happened for you to realize, okay, I want to start training, get back to ring. So what kind of moment did you have, or kind of moment that you witnessed where you like, I have to absolutely pursue this fully now? Like, this is it for me. Like, this is the avenue I want to completely go down.
So to go back a tiny bit, part of the reason, one of the things apart was when a real small company that just up wanted this with other people. Basically, they reach out to other small companies and make sure they just put things together, make sure things work. That was around the time I realized when it comes to pro wrestling and politics that it can be really toxic and really bad, and that just it psychologically messed me up a little bit to partially where I was just like, well, maybe I should just go on the back end and just figure out something else, at least just because I loved everything about what I did for the couple years I did with LBOW, the company, and things when it took a nosedive, it literally nosedived, did a tailspin. Flames was plane blew up, everything nothing. So, and I was just like, well, I need to at least, because with life as it is, I just want to at least be in a good mind place where, okay, I can, once I feel like I'm ready to get back in, I'll go back into it. So when I went to the training camp, everybody that was there was awesome. Everything was great about it. And I was just like, that negativity that I had for the bad fallout that happened, it made me realize that not all places is like that. It's just that there's a bump in the road every now and then that leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
But after that, like, Nick was pretty cool. Like, he was just like I know he went over like a couple things like rolling and ropes and all that. And when I did it, like, the people that was there was just like, oh, like, this guy knows how to do like a handstand bump and like a flip bump and all that. Just like, who is this? So Nick, like, he pulled me to the side during the second session for the training camp, and he was just like, I got a weird for you. He was like, you've done this before, haven't you? And I was just like, oh yeah, like I was like, I didn't know how to say it because I was like, I was someone that made it in the WWE, known like being a great wrestler. How to get like someone that's like, I wrestled in the backyard, you know, in front of like sometimes like 30 people, most times like 100 people. So I was like, I don't know how he feels about like being like oh yeah, I legit wrestled in the backyard of someone's house.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah. So I wrestled in the backyard, and I was like, oh well, I'm already here now, so I might as well just tell him it. So I was like, yeah, wrestled in the backyard with a couple people. Kind of got trained, but didn't get trained enough, basically. So he was just like, those roles you was doing was good as shit. You want to do this? You want to keep on doing this? And I was just like, oh, okay. So I'm doing something right. All right, yeah. That's the plan. So he was just like, come with, talk to me later once everything's done here. We'll get paperwork stuff and all that started. I'll make sure you sign up, and you know, I'll train you the way that I was trained and all that. So like, just let me know. Basically, it's just like, whatever you don't know about, I'll help fill in the blanks for. And I thank Nick for that because he helped me out a long way. And basically it got me to a good point to where once my mind, like, weird enough saying, like, once like I realized that there's not a lot of drama, and like some people can make wrestling pretty cool and pretty great. And it's just like, with that, it just made me feel better. It's like, okay, now I can get back into this. I'm out of excuses and out of options at this point, where it's just like, I got to do it. What's the worst thing that can happen? I can fail, but so far I haven't. So I'm chugging along, doing good.
Chugging along. So besides that, before I give it back to Terry, so obviously you were able to spend so much time with Nick, and what was the best thing that he's taught you or told you that you've been able to continue to use in your career so far?
So one thing he always stressed, a couple things he always stressed about. One of the things was just being aware of your surroundings, because, you know, with some people don't get trained about like, okay, like if there's recording going on, or somebody like walking around the campus, we got a hard cam and all that. He gave us a word about, he's like, I've been on WWE TV, I've been in production trucks from Raw to SmackDown, even to NXT, and I helped train and coach down there. And basically one of the things that they always stressed is, one, knowing where your cameras is at, and definitely knowing when the hard cam is at. So he helped me out when it comes to that, because, you know, when you sit there just getting either kicking somebody's ass or getting your ass kicked, like, you never get aware. It's like, oh, like, you know, the camera's over here and here, I need to make sure my focus is over there. Or when the hard cam is like straight right here, I need to focus right here. That was one thing. And another thing he really liked was just character. Just, he focused on character a lot, because he's just like, you can wrestle and be good, you can wrestle and be absolute the worst. He was like, but if you have a character and you want to portray your character, like, you gotta do your research, work on the character that you want so you can present it, because good characters can help translate to you being a good wrestler per se. Because there's people that wrestle that can't wrestle worth a lick, but they have some good characters. So with some fans, depending on the demographic you're with, some will remember, oh, this the guy that he came out in like a ambulance, like a firefighter scrub or something. But it's just like, do I remember some of his wrestling? Kinda. But when it comes to the character part of it, I remember he was like the most rambunctious and outgoing person there. And then once you get the people invested in your character, then you can translate it to like, okay, like let me show these people that I can actually wrestle. And he's just like the wrestling stuff, you gotta definitely know your do's and your don'ts. But once they see that and they put those two together, then it helps out basically portray who you are, what you are, and what you're trying to accomplish.
What you're trying to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
I got to interject right here, Nicole, right quick.
Oh yeah, hold on. I gotta bring in the camera. Oh yeah. This little bad. This sexy thing right here.
So, first year saw in both years was in Iowa.
Yeah.
Shout out to Black Wrestlers Matters. Going to Chicago this year.
Hey.
Sorry. 2 years in a row, you don't won that trophy.
Mm-hmm.
What I thought, and correct me if I'm wrong, they said the winner of the Rumble gets a shot at the Black Wrestlers Matters Championship.
There was 1 year they did say that. So, which is why if you saw the video I posted when it comes to basically for the show in Chicago, for me defending this for another time, going for a 3-peat, which is why I emphasize that, I want this trophy to be that gateway to the Black Wrestlers Matter Championship.
Yeah.
I feel as though with what I've done with it so far, winning it, being the first winner, and being the person to call his shot, go first, and beat 19, 20 other 30 people. It was a lot of people that was in there. But outlasting them to get it, to keep it, I feel as though now is the time to where we can get this trophy and have it catapult somebody to it. And this ain't nothing against, the people that's already got a shot. But I just want them to know that there might be somebody that might be looking. And it ain't Brooke. Shout out to Brooke Valentine. She cold. And I know, Jossie and JDS, they're going to fight for it at Blackout. But I got an idea, and I'm a pitch it to, the higher-ups about, officially making this the way to go to the Black Wrestlers Matter Championship. Because then after that, because, everybody going to fight for that, so want that silver smoker. Everybody want it. I'm one of the people that want it. Jotty, he has it. JDX want it. Brooke Valentine, she wants it. And I feel as though if we make this one of the ways to get to it, a lot of people are going to try to get this. Like, the great black wrestlers that we have out here in America. And maybe a few overseas. Who knows?
Because I felt like they put themselves in a corner, because I was like, okay, I heard it the first year. Mm-hmm. I'm like, cool. Here's what I broke down in my head. Okay, the winner of that Rumble is going to get a shot at the title. You already had your Black Wrestlers Matters 2 main event. So then when it got passed up and he didn't get the shot, I was like, oh, and they named Brooke the number one contender. Mm-hmm. But she deserved it. She ain't got her match yet either.
Right.
I was like, damn, now my guy done two-peated. So there's no way you could tell me that he don't have a claim to get a shot at the championship now, even though they ain't said in the second one. And like you said, you called your shot in the second one. You said, I'm going to start in this mug first just to outlast y'all.
Right.
and still got the trophy. Now,
2 times for that fact.
y'all go watch them Rumbles, blackwrestlersmatters.com. I just thought about something, but I'm not going to say it here. But just pay attention to the second Rumble. But yeah, this can catapult somebody to that Black Wrestlers Matters championship because, and JDX, we talking to you real soon. I just don't understand how you got another title shot. Even though, I saw the first one was y'all had a time limit draw and then kept going, but there's people out here with claims.
Right.
So, DeLorean, how do you feel, like to win the Rumble 2 years in a row? That got to mean they feel something, they putting something behind you. So how does it feel just being able to represent 2 years in a row? Maybe are you in it for the third year too?
Mm-hmm.
All right, if you win this time, they're really gonna have to do something. But because
that's the thing.
Damn.
That's the thing too, because I feel as though, in a way, like I got people that recognize that what I did. Yeah, you should get a shot at the championship, which I did. Like I'm gonna toot my own for the one time as much as I don't. I have a right for that, and I feel in another aspect, it's a way of seeing that they're playing it safe because people know JDX, people know Jossie, a lot of people know Brooke. I feel like I'd be scared or having somebody that we'll call it straightforward. Someone that's a pre-show that can go toe to toe with the best that they can offer, and I feel as though partial of them they scared of that happening because you got people that got exposure worldwide and all that, and they got their marquee people. JDX, I love that dude to death. That man is he's a walking magazine cover, and it shows. My boy Jossie, that man can talk. He can speak to a deaf man and make that deaf man think that what? I know what you say. I can hear again. And I feel as though if you really want to portray and show that what the front of the trophy says, that Black wrestlers matter, that why play it safe? Go with somebody, go with an underdog if you will.
Yeah.
Go with somebody like me. Because I promise you, I'll be more than just an overnight success story. Because I won this thing twice. So I have some claim to being like, I'm more than just that. I can be that guy. If you give me just one shot, I know I can be that guy. JDX got 2.
He's speaking facts, guys.
If he was lying, I would have stopped him, but he wasn't lying. Black Wrestlers Matters, hit me up because for real, I saw the promo he did and I was like, damn, he in another Rumble. Then I saw Brooke was like in a tag match. Then I saw y'all announce JDS and Jossie and they was in a tag match on AEW Dark and everything, and I was like, again.
Man, the thing was, man, and the crazy thing is, we could talk about the Rumble now too, man. I got no respect from everybody that did a video. Like, I get it, you want to put it on the table, show it. But my thing is like, for a guy that's had this, and this might be a slight jab at, the current champion, because he said he has the champion for over 400 days.
Yeah.
I've had this trophy since the first Black Wrestler Matter show about 2 years ago. So that's over 700 days and counting.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, I got no type of oh, D, you've done your thing, respect to you. And if he was like, oh, I'm just going to eliminate you. No, I had some dude drinking water in a promo talking about he's hungry, but really he's thirsty. I had another dude that got mad because he didn't get any opportunity on the main show.
Mm-hmm.
Got another dude who called me a bitch because he lasted in the Rumble for 30 seconds. That ain't my fault. That's on you, my guy. Did I eliminate? I'm pretty sure I probably did eliminate him. I don't know. But it ain't my fault you last 30 seconds. I mean, I ain't talking about your personal life, but like, I mean, if that's the case, then man, I'm sorry, man. You gotta do something better with that. So, and it's just like, you know, people feels like they have something to prove and they mad at me because I'm walking into this the third time with this trophy, and I'm gonna walk out of this the third time with this trophy. So it's just like, I don't get any kind of like, I respect what you've done with the trophy, or like, you know, I appreciate what you've done for people like us representing the culture.
Yeah.
Better than most people can. Like, you know, I get it when you hungry and you scratching and clawing and you want that success. You want to be that success, then you go do that. But to not give recognition where recognition is deserving, that got me feeling some type of way.
I mean, you should. It's to the point where it's like, okay, first they're like, because I remember that in the first Black Lives Matter show, I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, I feel like they didn't have him defend it. And then for this to go in again, because obviously, and this is just, you know, me being old school, anytime I'm thinking of a battle royale or something like that, obviously there's a prize for it.
Right.
Because why else are they going to have you fight 30 niggas at one time if you're not going to get something from it?
Exactly. I had to fight a chick one time too the first year, and I got my head knocked off for that. So I was saying, so if it's a dude, if it's a chick, if it's a mop, if it's a bucket, like I've kept this. So it is just like, you know, like I ain't getting I feel as though a part of me got that chip on my shoulder. I'm not getting the respect I feel as I deserve.
Yeah.
I feel as though when it comes to Black Wrestlers Matter, the show itself, I feel as though that, you know, I should be like kind of up there in the discussions of like, you know, when it comes to, you know, the Jossies of the world, the JDX of the world, the Brooke Valentines of the world, the Kenny Alfonsos of the world, Camaro Jacksons, Mark Outlaw, like everybody. Like, I feel as though that, hey, DeLorean Dave should be a part of that. He walk his walk and talk his talk. Like, I feel as though there ain't nothing wrong with it. But, you know, like.
Hold on. Did you say you was on the pre-show?
Again? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're doing the pre-show. I don't remember, but I think we might be main card this year.
Oh, okay. I was going to say they better not have you on the pre-show.
I don't know. Like, it was. I don't know, because last year was weird because I know last year we were in discussions for pre-show, and I forget how it went, but I know a few people didn't make it, so they ended up having to flip things around, and I know we ended up getting bumped there, which I wasn't mad about. Like, I'm happy as hell to be a part of the show regardless. I'm that kind of a worker. Especially when it comes to a historic show like this. And I've done history twice in a row now, so it's just like, I'm okay with it. But, yeah, you know, I kind of feel a little bit jaded if you ask me personally. But
so if y'all don't know, you know, we was doing the whole website thing.
Oh, yeah.
Point we had a Q&A with DeLorean Dish that was posted on the website. And I was just looking at one of the answers to your questions about the Black Wrestlers Matters trophy. And you called your shot then. This was after the first one. You was like, I feel that I think it's only right for me to rightfully defend this nice hardware and be the first ever back-to-back winner. This was like literally after the first Black Wrestlers.
Yeah, I'll say this is like maybe like a week or two after.
A week or two after, this is him saying this. And then he was like, but a bigger opportunity comes at Black Wrestlers Matters 2 that presents a high-profile match. Let's just say I have to shoot my shot. So I've been waiting because he had the ambitions there too. And I just remember from that show because I was like, yo, he gonna be in the next title match. So Black Wrestlers Matters, I done told y'all, hit us up. That man need to be in that match. If you don't know how to do it, there's got to be a way to do it. So I'm confident to ask this right now for one of them questions that I'll be asking Nicole. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little confident in this one. Rock or Stone Cold?
Oh, God, man. So I'm going to say Rock.
No right or wrong answer, people. But we are up there. Rock 18, Stone Cold 15. Let's go.
I'm just so like crazy thing is like I got a twin brother, and like my twin brother is a huge Stone Cold fan, and I was always a huge Rock fan. So you know when like WrestleMania 15, 17, and 19 was a thing, that like man, like I'm pretty sure there was a point in time we didn't even like watch the match. We just started fighting each other because we didn't like how the way things were going. But like I just know, like, I get why people gravitate towards Stone Cold. I get it. But, man, you just can't go wrong with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Like, I'm just saying.
There's no right or wrong answer.
It ain't. I like Stone Cold, too. Like, I mean, I ain't going to knock it.
Technically, there's no right or wrong answer. Technically.
Don't do that, Nicole.
Don't
do that, Nicole.
Man.
So, D-Lo, we're coming up on some of our last questions here. So, I'm just going to ask you, if you could pick a movie or a song to describe your wrestling career so far, what would you pick?
Ooh, cute movie. Okay, that's a real good one. Movie or a song?
Or album. Or album.
You know what? I would say, okay, album kind of helps out a little bit. I would say album-wise, I'll say between two albums. I would say either between, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people say it, you know, because it's the cockiness of you. Tupac, All Eyes on Me, because I feel as though with some things that I do, as though it's something that you can actually watch. And then if I have to choose another one, you know what? I would actually say an album. I would say, honestly, you know what? I'll say it's going to be a weird one. I would say a song that could describe my wrestling skill. I would say Unpredictable by Jamie Foxx, because it's just like, you know, it could come in all smooth, but I feel as though I can chain, I can do technical. High flying I can do as well too. I can do it also. Like when it comes to wrestling me, if you think you know, you might not know because I come in with something that's unpredictable. So I'd say between those two. I mean, yeah, I can think of a movie. That's a hard. Because I tried to think about a movie, like what movie described it, but I was like, I don't know.
Keep that in your thought pattern, you know. When you come
I'm gonna sleep on that one.
When you come back on, I'm gonna ask that question again about the movie.
I got you.
Here we go. Call this the put yourself over moment, DeLorean Diggs. This is where you let our fan base know how they can support you. Any things you got coming up. If you got t-shirt sites, let them know that. Also give me your social media. We just want you to put yourself over.
All right, so I'm gonna bring this trophy in. This is gonna be the first thing I'm gonna put myself over with.
Go ahead.
Because you know, in approximately about 10 days and counting, I am going to walk out with this again for a third time. Donnie C. Diggs has a nice ring to it. But, you know, I got a Facebook fan page, DeLorean Diggs, Time Traveler for the A's. YouTube.com/DLO Diggs. I got some wrestling footage that was lost. So I'm going to start re-uploading stuff there and put stuff up there more often. Twitter.com/DLO Diggs. That's where I'll be at on Twitter. Instagram, DLO Diggs as well, too. You know, you can get some of the personal stuff and some of the goofy randomness of my life. I got a PWT store, Dorian Diggs. I'm working on actually converting over from Pro Wrestling Tees to hopefully getting a Teespring store. So if you follow my socials, I'll keep that posted. Other than that, man, if you're in the Midwest area, support your boy. I wouldn't be here without y'all, give y'all flowers. Yeah, man, I'm winning this thing I'm keeping this thing. So that's all I got for putting myself over. I think I did, not too bad,
You did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
It was all right.
So mean.
Let's see here. I want to see if it's 3 words change. So 3 words describe your style and personality.
Oh man, I made this long. So I would say my style and my personality. I'll say a little bit relaxed, passionate, because I love what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the better word? You know what? I say outgoing because I'm not afraid to fail. I always love it when I succeed. I outgo, perform to the best I can. Yeah, I'll go with those. I don't think it was the last. I think those words changed. I think except for passion, it was for the last one when I said that. Oh, no, I didn't have that. Oh, so it's something completely different.
Yeah, 3 completely different words. You said charismatic, all around, and adaptive.
We could use those too. I'll go with. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cool. Oh man, we got everything there. Nicole, you got anything before we close up out of here?
No, just thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us out of your day, especially from coming from work earlier. Because I know I'd be like that. I ain't trying to talk to people. I just got my job. But hopefully you get to keep that statue for another year and counting. And hopefully they give you your title shot. But other than that, it was great having you on. Great talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me. I wanted to talk to you guys for the longest of times. I'm glad we can do that. I hope we do more. Maybe this trophy will be around, but maybe I'll swap it out with something different. Who knows?
Ooh.
Love to hear it.
How many people in the Rumble?
So far from what I know, because how many people said something about me that was talking trash? So about 10 people was talking trash, but I'm pretty sure there's more than people that scared they don't want to say nothing because,
This y'all intro Black Wrestlers Matters. Cut this part. On Friday, September the 2nd, in Chicago, the Rumble happens again. 20 men go to take down DeLorean Diggs, the 2-time back-to-back Black Wrestlers Matters Rumble champion. Who's going to get that trophy from him? If you don't know, make sure you're there to find out. We'll see you in Chicago. The Black. Who's going to do it? I don't know, man. I'm hoping for some type of swerve because, you know what I'm saying, I will have it in there where JDX ran, then the Rumble person come in and be like, yo, I'm tired of this. I done won 3 times in a row. I want my match. He beat JDX. Then at the end, Brooke come in, say, well, I'm owed a title shot. Then she take the title from him. You still got the Rumble trophy and you walking around saying, oh, it ain't fair. They set me up. I was just supposed to have I want all type of chaos because I need something big to happen on September 2nd in Chicago.
And one of the big things is me retaining this trophy, but hey, there's a reason that with this trophy, I would call an option for the cash to get a shot at it as an option C. And let's just say management, they hurt me. They hurt me. They hurt.
That's all we gonna say. I ain't gonna say nothing else. I don't want to get nobody in trouble.
Oh man.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I'm trading. We got Nicole up there. Y'all know Nicole. Where's she at? Over here?
I think, yeah. Like, oh, no.
Boom, right there, Nicole.
And if I knew my directions.
I know, because it's so weird.
It's backwards on here. So, DeLorean Diggs right there. Like I said, happy to have him on. Finally got him on. Talked to him 2 years ago after the event, Black Wrestlers Matter. The second show, for some reason, I don't think I saw him. But I was also trying to get out of Iowa as quick as I could.
It's Iowa, so I get it.
Yeah. But we're going to link up again. Going to be in the building this time. Be in the building September 2nd. If you love wrestling, say what's up to us. Say what's up to all the wrestlers. Buy the merch. You got some stickers?
I'm gonna try to see. I think my stickers will come in soon. If I don't get them around the showtime, I'm gonna hit y'all up. I'll send y'all some y'all way.
I've been collecting stickers, so I'll be asking everybody.
He has a little sticker book and everything.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put them on one of my computers. So
yeah, I just gotten into collecting stickers now. So,
but I'm Trey D. DeLorean Diggs. Make sure y'all follow him. You know, we only bring people on that we really like. We just don't bring anybody on here, and y'all know that by now.
Big fact.
This is 2 years coming, so we here.
Right.
I always say, if I love wrestling and you love wrestling, then we love wrestling. It's 2 Street.
Hey.
If I love wrestling and you love wrestling, then we.
You're not here, you missing out. Is this show?